Dear human, dear soul, I welcome you to my podcast series, Messages from Beyond. Since a near-death experience, I have had the gift of communicating with the subtle levels of the cosmos in a form of deep meditation in which I ask certain beings from the other world to communicate with me. As one of the first contacts to the afterlife, my old friend and teacher, friend of the Indians, showed himself to me. And it is now a great pleasure for me to introduce you to the conversations here as a supplement to the books. Please excuse me if the terms and our articulations are not perfect. Our mother tongue is German, but we try to translate it to the best of our ability. Thank you for understanding. The Pledge. Dear friend of the Indians, what exercises and important spiritual knowledge would you like to impart to the people to help them purify themselves?
First of all, it is important that you transmit to the people that the successes that they always hope for in their lives are not successes of the soul. There is a clear distinction here. The special advice that I will be imparting here is based on natural love.
Can you please briefly explain natural love? I suppose you mean the knowledge based on the laws of nature.
That is correct. I mean the interconnectedness of nature with your spirit, the soul and the forces of the cosmos. I will try to tell you about all of this and also about many other components. Indicating these components directly will be of paramount importance. I will have to do this right at the start of the practical advice in order to make sure that no words are misused here for the benefit of the human ego, but that all the knowledge and the advice that I am imparting here will only serve the loving development of the soul and never the development of the ego and the selfish actions of humanity. I really have to insist on this very strongly because it is very important. The knowledge that you, dear humans, will read, will experience here one day has been ripening inside me for a long time, and part of it is being used by wise beings on other planets for many years. I want to impart to you this essence of all this knowledge, but before I do this, I will ask you to make a promise. Each and every one of you who reads these words must promise never to use this knowledge for selfish ends or against another being. I would ask each and every one of you now to speak this holy promise for yourself. So here, at the start of this, I would ask you now to speak these words aloud.
I will love and cherish the direct connections that I will now experience for all of my existence. I will never use this knowledge against another being and nor ever use it for my own selfish ends. The cosmic plan will always be my leader and guide, and love will be the driving force. I promise here in the consciousness that I now possess that this power within me will only serve the labor of light and love in the cosmos. I thank you for this. Then maybe through the example of this very promise, you could explain to the people how important such promises really are.
I will do this with pleasure. The words that we speak resonate throughout the cosmos, as do all of our deeds. These words live on in the cosmos like small entities that have emanated from you. In order to understand the responsibility that lies in this, you have to understand that you do not create energy, but you are permitted to transform it. This means that the cosmic energy all around you and the energy that is your individual soul are always in resonance with each other and always connected. As you begin to formulate these words, you immerse the power of your soul in the power of the cosmos. Through this act, small energetic entities come into being that will perpetuate the soul's intention in the cosmos. On and on and on, until you revoke this action. They are like small birds that you send out, and they are all part of your energy. Therefore, please take note of the immense importance that every word you speak is truthful. For if your words are not truthful, they will contaminate the path of your soul for some time to come. That is not necessary. The power of a promise is as strong as the power of a connection you make. This pledge will connect the energy of your soul with the energy of the cosmos in this intention. In other words, for this goal that you have formulated. And this fact that the goal directs the energy ever onwards means that it is advisable that the goal be loving and full of light, never negative and dark.
I understand. Thank you very much. So the words we create are kind of like little energy gestalts, right?
Yes, that's true.
And a promise lasts until you revoke it yourself.
Yes.
So you can revoke a promise at any time, just like that. Or what do you mean by this?
This is not all that easy, because with every day that the soul lives the intention of this promise, actions occur. So when you revoke the promise, it does not mean that you will be able to revoke the resonances of these actions at the same time. These usually have to be balanced out by specific experiences.
May I briefly interject? And if these are positive actions, they are not need to be balanced, right?
Yes, exactly.
And when there are negative actions, what if someone is unaware and does not even know that he is performing a negative action? What then?
That is a very important question, Sylvia. All of your actions are connected with you, and they continue to carry on into eternity. Hence, the complex construct of your actions cannot be undone overnight. This in turn explains the responsibility that you carry for yourselves in every second. But it is, of course, still possible. If you have been acting unconsciously, then you are protected. You can use the realization of these unconscious acts, asking for help to balance these out. You will receive this help in the form of new opportunities and new challenges. And then you have to prove that you are brave enough to really wish for this balancing out. The cosmos will always provide you with the chance to cleanse unconsciousness. In the final analysis, when you speak of unconsciousness, this is simply contamination. This contamination, however, is part and parcel of incarnation, and hence the possibility to remove, to purify this contamination is already given through the asking. All human beings, all beings in the cosmos who ask for help and for the purification of their soul will receive it. The cosmos itself balances out the imbalance it has made possible in the first place. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. The fact that the cosmos makes it possible for you to be contaminated will be balanced out by the cosmos itself through the fact that you can ask for help at all times and then embark on a path that balances out these unconscious actions, right?
Right.
I just want to ask again very specifically. When a soul is unconscious and then one day gets to a point when it realizes that it wants to purify itself, then it will receive the gift of the opportunity to balance out these actions as long as it stays on this path. Is that correct?
Yes. This book and these words will be able to contribute much towards the acceleration of this purification. Because awareness always means connection, and you fall out of this connection when you incarnate to a higher or lesser degree. You can now re-establish this connection via Sylvia by following the information given by her. This is like a bridge into another world.
You said this very beautifully. Okay, so every person who is unconscious, when this person promises to walk the path on purity and love, will have protection from your side and your assistance, right?
Yes, that is right.
Would you like to add anything else here?
It is important that the words be spoken daily. People are so often distracted by worldly tasks and responsibilities that I want to ask you right now at the beginning of this to repeat what is given here over and over again. This way it will be able to penetrate more deeply into all your layers and with that into the cosmos. Your intention is the key to your purification. If you want to purify yourself, you will be able to do so to the extent that you asked for it. But in the final analysis is not an outside agent that will purify you, but you will do this all by yourself. This is a path that you must walk alone, each of you for yourself.
Yes, that brings us to the point again where last time we talked about responsibility for ourselves. I would like to introduce the concept of inner sanctuary. When people walk this path, they can go into their inner sanctuary. What do you think of me putting this in this way?
I think this is wonderful and correct, because that is the way it is. This sanctuary is empty. You are all by yourselves. The questions you have, ask them in this sanctuary, in this silence, inside of yourselves. Do not ask the outside world. Do not ask other people in the outside world, but find the answers inside of yourselves. You will always have the help of the spiritual world and the cosmos, as long as you walk in its direction full of love and light. I think the term sanctuary is wonderful. We will use it a lot from now on.
So, to sum it up for our audience, it is important to understand that we are 100% responsible for our own actions. Because if we all act responsible, in love, lovingly, then the world will be more loving, right?
Absolutely right.
A world less greedy, less hateful, and less avaricious, right?
Yes, but that is all also relative. The people will always be hateful and greedy to some extent. But when we balance those actions with loving actions, then it will be all right, as long as no other being is harmed in the process.
I understand. Is there something else you would like to add here?
No.
Then, thank you.
Thank you.
Love.
Love.